morning children, and welcome back to your chemistry class. So today in this chapter of hydrogen, I am going to discuss about the chemical properties and also the uses of hydrogen. So let us begin with the first chemical property of hydrogen, that is, we talk about its combustibility. Combustibility. What do we know about the combustibility of hydrogen? It is a combustible gas, but it does not support combustion. Okay. It is a combustible gas but does not support combustion. Clear? Over here we need to know that hydrogen burns in the atmosphere of oxygen with a pop sound and pale blue flame can be produced. Okay. Now second point, which I have already discussed with you on the live class, but here since these are the reactions, so I would also send it through video so that you can revise. So now the next chemical property that I need to talk over here is reaction of hydrogen with non-metals. So let's begin. The first one, that is hydrogen. It readily combines with oxygen to form water. Now what is the special condition required for hydrogen to combine with oxygen to form water? We need moisture over here. Then only this reaction takes place. Clear? Then next example could be like hydrogen when combines with chlorine. Now this always takes place in the presence of sunlight. If it takes place in the presence of sunlight, it shows an explosive reaction. Okay, the explosive reaction takes place in the presence of sunlight, and the same reaction can also happen in the diffused light. Okay, diffused light, the reaction is going to give us hydrogen chloride, but this is a moderate reaction, right? Same way, this hydrogen with chlorine in dark will show no reaction. It is not going to show any reaction. Similarly, hydrogen can also combine with bromine, right, in the presence of sunlight. Same process. Then it is going to form HBr, 2HBr. This will be explosive. Diffuse light में moderate and dark में no reaction will take place. Then coming to the next reaction, that is hydrogen when combines with sulfur. It gives us rotten egg smelling gas. What is this? Rotten egg smelling gas. This is called as hydrogen sulfide gas. What is the condition required for hydrogen to combine with this yellow sulfur? The color of sulfur is always yellow. So this has to be in its molten state to combine with hydrogen to give us this H2S gas. Okay. Then the next one is when hydrogen combines with nitrogen. Now understand the ratio of hydrogen and nitrogen first. So 3 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of nitrogen, they combine, but they also show a reversible reaction, right? So what are the special conditions required for this reaction to proceed and to form 2 volumes of ammonia? What is this? 2 volumes of ammonia. So what are the special conditions required over here? It firstly needs a catalyst, finely divided iron. To enhance the efficiency of this catalyst, it needs a promoter. So the promoter used over here is the molybdenum. Now it also requires certain pressure and temperature. So we can learn that 450 degrees Celsius is the temperature required, and the atmosphere ranges from 200 to 900 atmosphere. So when all these special conditions are required with 3 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of nitrogen, we obtain 2 volumes of ammonia. Clear? Is this point clear? This process is also called as Haber's process. So we say that by Haber's process, we obtain ammonia gas. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now I'm going to talk about certain reactions with metals. Second one is, so this is the third reaction. Third is reaction with metals. Okay. So reaction with metals, let us see. Hydrogen gas, when passed over some alkali metals, right, they combine to form metallic hydride. So for example, potassium combines with hydrogen to give us potassium hydride. If you balance, you will get this. What is the name of this? Potassium hydride. Remember, oxygen becomes oxide, nitrogen becomes nitride, so hydrogen becomes hydride. Okay. Similarly, sodium can also combine with hydrogen to form sodium hydride. Okay. Similarly, calcium can combine with hydrogen to form calcium hydride. This calcium hydride, it is highly unstable. All these compounds are unstable, do remember. But calcium hydride immediately combines with the water molecules that are present in the air, and it forms calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas can also be released. I hope this is clear. All these hydrides, they are highly unstable, but these hydrides, potassium hydride and sodium hydride, they do not react with atmospheric moisture. Whereas calcium hydroxide, it immediately combines with the atmospheric moisture to form calcium hydride and hydrogen gas is given out, right? So such reactions, they also exhibit the oxidizing nature of hydrogen, or we may say that hydrogen acts as an oxidizing agent over here. In these reactions, what do we study? That hydrogen is acting here as an oxidizing agent, right? Now, next, the fourth kind, where I'm going to show you reaction of hydrogen with metal oxides. So hydrogen over here, it acts as a strong reducing agent. Here it is acting as a strong oxidizing agent. Now I'm going to explain you how it acts like a strong reducing agent. For example, PbO, it reacts with hydrogen to give us Pb plus H2O. This Pb, it is always yellow in color. When we treat it with hydrogen, it becomes silver color, lead plus water is given out. Similarly, you can say copper oxide, when treated with hydrogen, it is going to give us copper plus water. So what is the color of copper oxide? It is black in color, and when reduced with the help of hydrogen gas, it is going to give us reddish brown deposit of copper and water is formed. So over here we can say that hydrogen, it is reducing the metallic oxides into the respective metals. So here they are acting as good reducing agent. Okay. Now here I was explaining you when hydrogen was reacting with some metal oxides. Hydrogen also reacts with the non-metals also to show some reducing agent. Now hydrogen also helps in reduction of the halogens to the respective halogen acids also. So there also it acts like a reducing agent. So maybe you can learn like this: hydrogen combines with fluorine to form HF. So what is it showing over here? It is acting as a good reducing agent. Even like for example carbon, it is getting reduced to methane. Who is getting it reduced? Hydrogen is getting it reduced. So hydrogen over here, carbon, hydrogen reduces carbon to methane, right? Similarly, we can also say hydrogen combines with chlorine to give HCl. So what it is showing over here? It is reducing the halogen to the halogen acid under some special conditions. What are the special conditions? I had already told you. For this, it requires diffused light or sunlight to show the reaction. So they also show us that hydrogen is a good reducing agent. Clear? Then the fifth reaction is formation of methanol. Okay, so hydrogen gas, when it is passed over water gas, right, in the presence of chromium oxide and zinc oxide, then it is going to form methyl alcohol. So what is the water gas? CO plus H2. This is what called as water gas when it is treated with hydrogen when in the presence of chromium oxide and zinc oxide. What temperature is required here? 350 degrees Celsius is required here. It also requires pressure of 200 atmosphere. Then it is going to form, what is this called as? Methanol. Okay. Then it also shows hydrogenation. It also shows hydrogenation, that is the mixture of unsaturated hydrocarbon and hydrogen when they are passed through finely divided nickel or palladium or platinum, right? Then they convert them into the saturated hydrocarbon, and this process is termed as hydrogenation. So over here, which catalyst is used? Either platinum, palladium or nickel can be used in the presence of hydrogen. Okay, so let's take one example. Like we take ethyne, CH triple bond CH. What is this? This is called as ethyne when treated with hydrogen in the presence of nickel at 300 degrees Celsius. It shows addition reaction and it will form CH2 double bond CH2, which is called as ethene. And this ethene further, when treated with hydrogen under the same condition of nickel at 300 degrees, it is going to form ethane. Okay, this is called as ethane. So from ethyne to ethene and from ethene we can obtain ethane. So these were some of the chemical properties of hydrogen gas, right? Even hydrogen gas when passed through vegetable oils in the presence of this platinum, palladium or nickel, then we also obtain vegetable ghee, and this process is also known as hydrogenation. This process is also termed as hydrogenation. Okay. Now lastly we come to the uses of hydrogen. Some of the uses of hydrogen. The first one is that of it acts as a reducing agent. Just now I had explained you. They act as a reducing agent. How? That hydrogen, it reduces the metal oxides to the respective metals at high temperature. For example, I had told you PbO plus H2, it is going to give us Pb plus H2O. Remember? So from metal oxide we can easily obtain the metal with the help of hydrogen. Then second use could be the oxyhydrogen flame. Right? What is oxyhydrogen flame? When oxygen and hydrogen gases they combine, this mixture, it is burnt at very high temperature. As high as what? 2500 degrees Celsius is produced. So such flames, they are used for cutting and welding of the metals, right? Then thirdly, they are used, as I told you, for hydrogenation of oil. What is hydrogenation of oil? When hydrogen is used to convert the vegetable oil to vanaspati ghee in the presence of nickel, platinum or palladium, that is called as hydrogenation of oil. Then you can call it as for meteorological balloons. It is also used in the meteorological balloons, but nowadays it is not used, because this mixture of hydrogen, when it goes into the air, right, when the pressure becomes low, then it changes, it bursts into explosive substance. Therefore this has been replaced by the next important gas, that is helium, right? So helium nowadays is used in place of hydrogen for filling up the balloons and the airships. Then its fifth use could be like formation of synthetic petrols. Formation of synthetic petrols. So when coal, it is hydrogenated. How? By passing the coal, when the gas hydrogen is passed to the coal in the presence of nickel, platinum or palladium, then we obtain the liquid which is called as synthetic petrol. Okay. Then it is also used as fuel. How? Mixture of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, it is used for the rocket fuel. Liquid oxygen plus liquid hydrogen is used as a rocket fuel. So in very near future, you will see that this hydrogen gas will be easily replaced by the gasoline for our automobiles. Okay. Then it is also used for the synthesis of the compounds, for synthesis of compounds, like for example Haber's process. If you remember, Haber's process is what? For manufacture of ammonia gas, isn't it? So these are some of the uses of hydrogen, and with this we wind up with a chapter. Thank you.